Jade.
Hi, Manon.
How have you been?
Good. I just finished work. How are you?
Very good. So we might see if we can accommodate everybody on that one and start maybe at 6:30 next time.
Okay. Will be better for me.
So it might be better for a few people. We'll see. We might start experimenting with slightly later start times. And how about weekends? Are you free on weekends? Because we used to have them on weekends. We might see if we can also start doing some weekends again.
Yeah, weekend can do. What is it? Tuesday today. Actually, Wednesday is better for me, but it depends on Wednesday after work. See how everyone goes.
Yes. It's funny. I used to have Cashflow in the cafe, and we used to do Wednesdays, I think it was. Then we swapped to Thursdays, and then Thursdays were better. Everybody could come on Thursdays, and then everybody wanted to go back to Wednesdays because all of a sudden nobody could come on Thursdays. Everybody could do Wednesdays just after we swapped. So that was very, very funny. So how's your week been?
Only Tuesday, so not bad.
That's good.
Getting busy. Wednesday is the busiest, and then it quiet down.
And then it quietens down a little bit. Yes. Sorry?
Yourself?
Yes. So I had a very busy last week. I was crewing for a seminar last week. And then when that all finished, I needed to get back into it, but I ended up going camping for 2 days first. And then it's been back to business for the last 2 days. So that has been good. And yeah, I wanted to work through the weekend, but it was probably good to actually take some rest and go for some camping for those 2 days. Now I'm still sane, so yeah. That's good.
Sometimes you need to rest after getting away. Like if you got away and then come back, need a day off, at least for me.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So we were thinking that a few more people were coming. We had a couple of more RSVPs, and we had a couple of people who bought tickets as well. But it might just be you, Mladen, Ethel, and me today. And what I wanted to share, it's actually really good because today I am going to do a little bit of a presentation. I'm not sure if you saw the newsletter. I sent out a newsletter and I said that I was going to talk about a topic that relates to investing today called decentralization.
Yeah.
And then we'll do some playing and I'll take some notes so that we can debrief. And then I also wanted to share something around creating some memberships for Cashflow so that there's a little bit more that we are offering, different workshops and other things that I'll tell you about that we're going to start doing. So I'll tell you about that towards the end as well. So if you're ready, we'll start doing the presentation, and that's going to be a presentation that we'll do every week, and then we'll make that event, we'll record it, and then we'll make that available to everybody that's a member if they weren't able to make it. So let's get started with that. This is obviously the first time that we are testing this out, so we'll have to see how we go with all the technology things.
How about that?
That looks like yes. The whole thing is there, yes. Okay, so as I was saying in the newsletter, and if you didn't see the newsletter, then let me quickly explain. I met somebody who also runs a Cashflow up in Queensland, and they are very good friends with Robert Kiyosaki. And I was on the phone to him, and I joined his elite mastermind. And the first conversation that we had since joining, we actually spoke about decentralization and how it's a very big trend happening everywhere. And he also mentioned a couple of things about how to profit from it, depending on whether you are a real estate investor, a stock market investor, or whether you are in business. So because I'm now in that elite mastermind, it gives me the opportunity to be able to share some of the things that I hear at this really amazing place. I've only attended once, but I'm going to be attending twice a month. And that's going to allow me to be able to pick up information that I can then share with you, because there are some really, really top investors in that group, which is really amazing. It has people in there that are very good real estate investors that buy properties with no money down, for example. There are people who are very good at the stock market. Some people in that group do cryptocurrencies. They do all sorts of different things. A lot of them have their own businesses. So that gives me access to give you lots of different things that you can also share together with me, which is really, really exciting. So we'll move on to the next slide. And one thing that I've always noticed is that I am always looking around me. So when I was younger, I used to find lots of coins. So I used to go to the Fate and I found a dollar coin. The first time I ever found money, I found a dollar coin underneath one of the attractions there. And I was very, very happy to find that. But it meant that I was looking around me. I was actually taking the time to observe what was happening, where the opportunities were. And so whenever I'm walking down the street, I'm always looking down, and I'm very famous for finding coins on the floor. And the same thing happens with me and my partner when we are at the beach. Whenever we're walking along the beach, she will walk straight past everything. And because I'm very, very observant and looking down, I will find different shells that I've never seen before, even though I've seen lots of them in the past. I will see all sorts of different sea sponges and pieces of rope and lots of really interesting things. So from an investment point of view, it is really important to be able to listen to others, to look around and see what is happening. I used to have a mentor, and he used to always tell me that when it comes to making money, you have to take a step back and observe everything from a further out perspective so that you can see where the money is flowing, what is happening, and where the money is coming from, where it is going to, and why it's going to those particular areas. So just like a walk along the beach, it's really important to observe everything and to look for those opportunities, which are just like seashells. Okay, so then we can start with the next slide. So when you're at the beach, sometimes you'll see an airplane flying over, and who here has ever seen an A380? When it first came out in, I think it was 1997, it was very, very early on, or in the late 90s. It was a really exciting airplane, and it was really focused on the trend of centralization. So back in the day when airplane travel first started, airplanes used to pick people up, and it would fly to a place that it could get to with the amount of fuel that it had, and then it would fly on to the next destination until it had enough, until it ran out of fuel, and then it would refuel. And so it would fly direct to the destination that it was going to, and that was working quite well. But then they decided something needed to change. That's when they created centralization of the airline industry. What they did next is they said, okay, let's take all the people that live in small little places, bring them to one centralized hub, and then we can transport them from there to another country. So in Australia, people would travel from Perth, from Brisbane, from Melbourne. Everybody would travel to Sydney, and then the big planes would fly from Sydney to the overseas destinations. Centralization. So Airbus created the A380 in order to be able to follow with that trend, to get people into major hubs such as Sydney, Dubai, Singapore, other places like that. And then they would fly them overseas to their larger destinations. And then again, from those hubs, fly them out to the smaller destinations around that. So if you were flying to Dubai and you needed to go to, say, for example, back in the days when it wasn't bombed out and destroyed, if you were going to Syria, or if you were going to Lebanon, or if you were going to Israel, for example, then you would fly from Dubai in smaller planes and head out. But the A380, unfortunately, was created just before the new trend started, which was decentralization. So now you'll notice that the big winner in the airline industry has been the Boeing 787. It has allowed people to fly directly from, say, for example, Brisbane directly to Dubai, or it allows people to fly directly from Perth to Dubai. So we're very much on the decentralization of how the world is working. And this is not only happening in the airline industry, but it is happening everywhere. So if we go to the next slide. Oh, not sure if Ethel has seen it. Maybe her daughter has. Ah, here we go. Okay, so when it comes to centralization, decentralization, and all of these different kinds of trends that are happening, we need to be able to recognize patterns. So I'm reading Ray Dalio Principles in the morning. So I do a live stream and we record it and send it to the YouTube channel. And he talks a lot about pattern recognition and being able to spot what is happening. And before my chat with the man who's friends with Robert Kiyosaki, I'd already noticed to a certain degree in the airline industry, for example, this trend towards decentralization. But I hadn't noticed that it was such largely spread throughout everything. So again, it comes down to really being able to observe what's going on around you and being able to recognize these patterns. And if you're not really the analytical type, then it becomes really good to be able to talk to other people who are analytical so that you can have a chat to them about what is going on. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So when it comes to decentralization and the opportunities that it brings, business-wise, there are lots of really amazing opportunities when it comes to decentralization. So, for example, blockchain is something that is really exciting at the moment. Blockchain has allowed us to be able to decentralize the currency, and I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. And so that is another really good example of decentralization and how things are starting to move away from everything in one place to things being outside of that. So governments controlled all of the currencies. Each country had one currency, and now there are thousands and thousands of currencies that you can choose from, and they all have different purposes and different things that you can use them for. So another example, and especially a business example, is that everything used to be produced in China. Now, there are a couple of things that started moving the trend towards decentralization when it comes to China and goods being produced. The first is that China started to create spy chips that were the size of a grain of rice. And they were able to control the market so well because they controlled everything. Everything was centralized in China. So they knew which computer that was produced was going to go to where. And they knew that this particular computer was going to go to Apple, or this particular computer was going to go to the US government. And they put these little chips inside. America was very, very upset, but probably more so because they wanted to do the same thing, but the Chinese were better at actually creating it and beat them to it. So these spy chips made America very, very wary about having everything produced in China. And so this is where the decentralization first started out. And as America started to pull back, and Donald Trump was talking about the fact that he wanted more and more goods produced in America, this was the reason why. Because he knew that China was starting to put spy chips and was able to really infiltrate American goods so that they could get information from technology companies, from the government, and various other places. So that created this trade war. And this trade war meant that, again, Chinese goods were tariffed, which makes it more difficult for them to sell into other places. And so, again, we start getting more and more decentralization. And then with coronavirus, a lot of goods weren't being transported. A lot of ships had people that were sick on them, so they weren't traveling as fast as they usually would. And then there were supply issues and shortages. And then now with the war coming, we're into the fourth phase of this whole thing, where everything is causing decentralization from that point of view. And the other thing is that China is possibly siding with Russia, which again makes everybody a little bit nervous, and people don't really want to deal with China. And there might be sanctions imposed on China if they do indeed help Russia. So there's a lot of movement in the business community towards decentralization because many countries are starting to produce their own goods again. So the first opportunity is onshore manufacturing. So if wages start rising along with inflation, then we will be able to start paying for homemade products again. Because the reason it went out and it was centralized to China is because people wanted cheaper goods. But if wages are going to start rising together with inflation, we'll be able to start buying homemade products again. And the trend really is starting to go in that direction. So if you are into business, there is a great opportunity to be able to start creating and producing goods in Australia again and creating a business here that is manufacturing all sorts of different things, whatever it is that you like to produce. So be it windows or knickknacks for around the house or other things, no longer do you need to go to China to have that outsourced and created there. You'll start to see more things created here. So there'll be less export profits, but there'll also be less currency headaches. Because when you export, obviously, you are going to be at the mercy a little bit of the currency markets and whether it's going to be more expensive or cheaper to be able to send those goods across and what the price is that you need to sell them for. But if you read Ray Dalio's principles, he very often talks about what his company used to do, which is helping people to hedge. So if you're expecting that the dollar might go up, for example, and that is not favorable to your exporting business, then you would be able to hedge against that by buying the currency and taking options and shorting that currency in order to then be able to make money, even though the price of those goods would otherwise have to go up. So you can keep your price at the same level. Then coming back to blockchain, the blockchain allows for lots of different business applications and the opportunity for more people to start businesses. So there's a lot of new applications coming out. We'll talk about it in just a moment, but one of them is, for example, that the blockchain allows for you to be able to set up new businesses, such as people have started real estate businesses that rely on the blockchain. There are blockchain applications that people have been using to create a new bond market for not currencies, but for cryptocurrencies. Yes, that's the one, for cryptocurrencies. So there are lots of new kinds of businesses that you're going to be able to create using this blockchain. So decentralization is just like in the 18th century and in Vietnam, where things were all centralized and then they started to move away. So for example, in the 18th century and in Vietnam last time that I was there, everybody had their own little shop. Everybody had their own little business. And so rather than everybody working for a large company, we are already on that trend towards everybody starting to have their own business. So you'll notice a lot of people have MLM businesses. A lot of people have their own gig businesses. So for example, the Ubers and the Uber Eats and all of those different ones. A lot of trend is happening towards people going decentralized and starting their own businesses as well. So that's something that you might like to keep in mind. Okay, and then opportunities real estate wise. So the blockchain, again, is another really big player with this, and it helps us to keep deeds and to be able to verify who owns which property. Now, before, this was something that conveyancers used to do, and it was a very difficult task, and it would take time to get it done. And the blockchain might make conveyancing extinct. So if you are ever thinking of becoming a conveyancer, now might not really be a great time to go into the business of conveyancing. So another thing is that real estate is now also being sold by smaller agencies. So previously it was all big chain companies that used to sell real estate. And now it's starting to be lots of smaller companies, and the blockchain and the trend toward decentralization is allowing that to happen. Now, there was a company in Australia that was selling real estate that was doing it slightly differently, and they were called Purple Bricks. Unfortunately, Purple Bricks was probably just ahead of the curve with regards to decentralization, and they went bankrupt in Australia. I think that they're still active in the UK, but they went bankrupt in Australia. But now, with the decentralization rapidly setting in, there are opportunities for people, this time again from the business sense, but in real estate, to create something new, to create something which is a little bit different and that's able to shake the market up. Now, with regards to properties and foreign investment, this could stay high regardless of decentralization. So obviously during coronavirus times, it was more challenging to buy overseas property if you wanted to be able to inspect it. But now that that is over, with regards to real estate, regardless of whether there is decentralization or centralization, I think that foreign investment could stay high as long as the investment market stays hot like it has been. So it has been a great opportunity for the Australian market to be able to keep growing. Okay, we can go to the next slide. So paper asset wise, so if you are into NFTs, stocks, bonds, options, all of these different things. So with manufacturing coming back to Australia, there is a very good chance that there will be more companies on the stock market that have greater opportunities to be able to grow, and it will boost the Australian economy and give you more chances to be able to buy great stocks of new companies that are going to do IPOs and jump onto the stock market and potentially grow so that you can make great profits on the stock market. Crypto is, of course, also decentralized, so the foreign exchange market might be very different. So crypto is one of those things that I have been looking at very, very critically, because the government obviously wants to be able to keep control of the currency, and the cryptocurrencies are a bit of a threat to that. So it could be that cryptocurrencies find their own place in society, but it could also be that governments start legislating and creating some rules around what is allowed outside of the own cryptocurrency that the governments might create. So crypto coins might be, some might be really, really big, and it's very, very difficult to kill them off, but others might devaluate completely. So it will be very interesting to see what governments do. So there is still an opportunity in cryptocurrencies, but it's going to depend on what governments decide and what the legislation becomes. Now, for those of you who might be interested in an NFTs, there is the potential for new ideas. For example, there is an NFT bond market now, and I will quickly share the actual article that I found about it, because it was very, very interesting. Let me type that in. Oh, Ethel's already done that. So that one's already in there. So I found this very interesting article that talked about a crypto bond market. So these are the kinds of things that would allow innovation and opportunities in the space of paper assets. And what it does is it allows people to be able to create bonds and different other paper assets that are linked to the cryptocurrency market. And what that does is it makes it easier for people to create products that can hedge better even than the current bond market. So when bonds go up, stocks often go down. And when bonds go down, stocks often go up, because people will shift their money from one to the other depending on what interest rates are doing and what the stock market is doing, so that they can continue to make higher returns. So there are some really interesting things happening in the NFT market. With regards to the NFT market generally, it's really interesting because there are a couple of people who are making some really amazing money by making artworks and then selling them for a fortune. One thing to realize, and I saw this firsthand because I have a friend who actually bought some NFTs. He was supporting a friend of his, and he told me that the NFTs have not gone up in value at all. And the reason for this is that 90% of NFTs will do nothing. So only 10% have the power behind them and the right people to be able to generate enough interest for them to be able to generate huge returns. And of course, everybody focuses on those huge returns and not so much on the whole market, and doesn't realize that there are lots of them that don't make any money. So a lot of people are not thinking about what they're doing and see an article about NFTs that start at maybe $10,000 and go all the way up to $250,000 worth, and then believe that that will happen to all of them, and don't realize that it doesn't happen to all of them. So if you're going to go into NFTs, you need to make sure that you know what you are doing and who is behind it, and whether there is sufficient marketing and information and I suppose spotlight on those NFTs to make them a good investment. So it's just like any other investment. Some shares are going to be extremely good, some shares are not going to be very good. Some cryptocurrencies are going to be growing while others are not. So there are lots of different things to keep in mind, just the same as all the others in the NFT market. And then finally, the last, I think last or second last slide. So this year, one thing that I really want to focus on is spotting more trends like this and patterns, and sharing those with you, but also partnering with people that are in the Cashflow Club. So I am very, very excited about setting up a business together with people that are interested in business. So I have lots of business ideas. So if you don't have a business idea, but you want to get into business, then I would love to be able to share an idea and help you set that business up. I can help connect you to the right people. I can mentor you and assist you with other resources. And I'm also happy to look for businesses for sale and joint investment projects. So about 2 years ago, I was in the process of actually doing this. There was somebody that I have been working with who was looking at analyzing businesses, and we were looking to be able to joint venture together with other people. Everybody contributes and buy a business that is up for sale, that we can see it has great potential, that has a low price, has potential to grow, has potential for further investment, so that it can become a very, very profitable investment for the future. With regards to real estate, I can assist with area research, numbers, financial analysis, connecting you with people again, joint ventures and syndication, which is something that I used to teach when I first started Cashflow, and that I think I would be really good to be able to do again. And with regards to paper assets, again, finding opportunities, connecting you with the right people, research, analysis, workshops, etc., etc. So this year, I would like this club to really be a connected network where you can decide what it is that you want to do. And if you feel that there are opportunities for partnering, or if you're missing something to be able to create something for yourself, then we would love to help you to be able to have a look at what the trends are, what you are missing, and help you to be able to find alternative ways and do things together to help you do it more easily. So this year is all about taking Cashflow and helping you to be able to implement more in real life. And if you're playing a little bit smaller, working together can allow you to be able to do things on a slightly larger scale. So in conclusion, we are really headed towards more of a decentralized world. And it's really challenging for a lot of us to think about a decentralized world, because everything has been produced in China. Everything has been centralized for a very long time. You would have noticed that councils in Australia, for example, were all centralizing, and you had 5, 6 different councils that were all merging together. So not everything is starting to decentralize just yet, but it is a trend that a lot of the very successful people in my elite mastermind are talking about. It's something that they are looking to be able to find opportunities in and to be able to exploit in order to be able to create some really great investments for themselves for this year. And that is our presentation for this week. And then it looks like I made another slide. Let's see what it says. What do you want to achieve this year? So yes, I would love to know what it is that you'd like to achieve this year, so we can assist to make sure that you are able to achieve all your goals this year. And yeah, really appreciate everybody that comes to Cashflow and that has been learning so much from it. And thank you for being here for the presentation today.
Thank you, Mano.
Okay, I hope everybody enjoyed that and got something from it. I really enjoyed having that conversation. And for me, it's very exciting to be able to share it with you as well. And I'm looking forward to taking more of the things that I learned from this elite mastermind and these really amazing people that are some of the leaders in investing and who have very, very big portfolios and do some really amazing things, so that we can share that with you, which is why we actually changed the date of Cashflow so that I would be able to go and join that at the same time and share it here so that they didn't clash and I could only attend one of them. And Jade has just said that her internet is not very stable. I'll switch device and rejoin. So we have recorded it. We will make that recording for people who are members. But since you were here tonight, anybody that's here and didn't manage to hear it properly, we'll make sure that that recording is also available for you. Okay. Then, before we start to play today, there's one other thing that I would like to do, and that is get you to fill in a quiz. I actually have a few more questions than we have in the quiz. We might actually start that next week, and I'll pass that quiz on to both of you, Mladen and Jade, so that you can fill that in. I actually have a new kind of software that I haven't been able to share with Ethel yet. I just found that at the end of the day. That will allow us to put all of the questions that we have so that we can get an idea of what you know and what you don't know with regards to cash flow. And that will allow us to be able to help you out in the areas where you might be a little bit weaker, and yes, decide whether you would fit better into the beginners or in the more advanced groups, which we are creating as well. So then next I would usually go and talk about how to play, but since you all know how to play, how about we all just log in and then we can start to play some cash flow.
Sure.
Then I will see if I can start to share the screen again. I should still have Cashflow open, but it's going to be on a different window, so that is not very helpful. Do you still have the link, Jade?
No, I don't have it.
Okay, then what we'll do is I will copy and paste that in for you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll make sure that you're able to get a copy of that since you were here today. If you weren't able to hear the whole thing, we'll get the recording of the presentation for you so that you have access to that one. And then we can go in and play some cash flow.
Do we use the username from last time? I don't remember.
You should be able to use the username and password from last time. That will then let you in. If you do have any issues, Mladen will be able to help out. And I will set up a room. Let me know if you have any issues, if there's anything that you're not sure of. I'll set up a room called Room 1. And I might just need to turn off my video because I think that I am sharing too many different things. So let me see. If I turn off my video, you're probably going to be looking at the screen anyhow. That might actually save my internet a little bit so that the I should be in room 1. Oops, there we go. Okay, I am in room 1. If you'd like to come and join me.
Trying to log in. Okay.
Hey, Mladen is in. And I think you're probably close to being in.
Where do I go? How do I go to Zoom room 1? Zoom 1.
Well, room 1, if you go to the top left, you'll see the 2 piles of coins, and then it says room underneath. You click on room, and then you don't create a room, but you select an existing room, and there should only be one of them. You'll find room 1.
It says fatal error. What? Forms
If you
admission.
just go back to Playboard, it should, I think, let you in. I had the same thing, so I'm not sure. Mladen, do you know what might be happening there? I also got an error message, but then I was able to join the room after I went back to Playboard. And when it refreshed, it allowed me in.
I'm still on the error page, even I tried to log in again. I'll try a different browser.
Which browser are you using?
Chrome.
Mladen, are you able to help Jade out?
I don't know what is error message. What's the problem?
Would you like
That's
to share
fatal error.
Would you like to share the screen so that Mladen can see the error? I'll stop sharing mine. And then
Okay.
the screen, we might be able to get Mladen to be able to see what it is that it says. And then we can take it from there.
Should I go back?
Close browser and reopen it.
Say that again.
Close browser and reopen it.
I need to start all the way from the beginning again.
Okay. It's still that error. I'll try on Safari. Oh, it's same error on Safari.
An error on Safari.
Yeah, so this is my Safari, a different browser. Same error.
Yes, your error is a little bit more challenging than mine because I was able to get in eventually.
I tried on Chrome and it's still the same error. Safari doesn't work neither. Should I restart my computer?
No.
We'll give Mladen a second to see if he can figure it out.
Okay.
It probably just doesn't like that we changed the date. It's been feeling like neglected, maybe.
I tried to restart my browser and it's still the same error message.
So take your time, Laden, and see if you can help us out with that, because I will definitely not be able to help us out. You know a lot more about computers than I do.
I got in, I find my old, so I just created a new account just now, but I find my old one. So I got in.
Is that letting you go into the room?
I'm church, room 1, yeah. Warning. Am I in room? I think I'm in room 1.
Well, let me see. Yes, you are.
So playboard, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so then we are all in.
This is my old profile from last time. Okay. The money is still there.
Yes.
Same occupation.
You want to keep playing, since we already have a little bit of history, and since you've already played before, would you like to keep playing and see how you go with the rest of it, or would you like to start a new game?
Yeah, we can keep playing.
Play? Okay, then we'll get started. Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay, how much cash do I have? That's a good question. Oh, I've got lots of cash. Yeah, I'm going to go for one of these. Small shopping mall.
Hmm.
Would anybody like this one? I'm okay for not having this one.
I don't have that much cash.
Okay, then I will pass that on. Over to you, Mladen.
Stock. MYT for you.
I have to see if I can remember what I have in this game. Oh, Mladen's dropped out.
Select card. Or should we wait for him?
No, don't wait for me. I would like to see what was the problem on your side.
Yes, I think Mladen's going to have a look at the back end.
Okay.
Over to you.
Payday. And condo for sale.
Sale.
Excellent condo is sell due to business success. Is this a sold to sell? The cost is 60. Down payment is 5,000. So that may sell for 45,000 where the cost is 60,000. That could be a potential loss as well.
Yes, correct.
And it's negative cash flow.
And it's negative cash flow. So I am very not interested in buying that off you if you are looking to sell it. If my screen was on, you would see me smiling. But to save bandwidth,
so I can only choose to sell card, right?
So you can sell the card if you want to, but I am not very interested.
Okay, I'll just, for the sake of see what. Oop, what happened? I clicked on sell card and then my page went blank.
So when you sell the card, then you need to choose.
I have to choose you. I can only sell to you, but you can reject.
So
don't have to
I'm
accept.
probably not going to buy that one. So thank you for
Yeah.
passing it on to me, but I'm just going to say done.
Yeah.
I feel like you're forcing me to buy a terrible deal. Haha. Okay.
I just wanted to see what that function is like.
Oh, oh, good. I'm glad that you did because that's a really good thing to do. Oh, I will definitely be buying this one though.
ROI is 59%.
Yes.
Wow.
So it costs 100,000. I am going to ask the bank if I can pay a slightly lower amount. So I can do that with 25,000. So I'm going to buy that with a down payment of 25,000. And let's see, I have my pizza franchise. Yes, I do. Okay, that is some good cash flow right there. Brings my passive income to 23,000. So we'll say done and pass that one on. Did hit done, not hard enough. There we go. Didn't recognize me clicking on it.
Select card. Stock, okay for you, drug.
Oh, nice and cheap. Nice and cheap, nice and cheap.
Yeah. Buy. Quantity to buy. Current ratio. Cash flow ratio. Performance indicator. What is this?
So this is a stock. So it has a trading range from 5 to 40. So today's price is $5. So it's really nice and low.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other question?
I'm on the page, so when I click on buy, I'm on the page that shows additional information that says performance indicators. That's
So the
got
performance
current ratio.
indicators are going to stay the same with a stock purchase. So they are only relevant more or less to businesses or real estate because they will change depending on how much you borrow or how you purchase them. So your current ratio, your cash flow ratio, your debt to assets ratio, debt to income ratio, and debt to equity ratio are showing you how well you are doing. So for example, you can't, I think, am I sharing the screen at the moment? I might not be. No, I'm not sharing the screen right now.
I can share my screen. I don't mind.
That's okay. Or you can share your screen. Yes. So your current ratio at the moment is in the blue, which means that it is on track. Your debt to income ratio is on track because it's also blue, but your cash flow ratio, your ability to have enough cash for everything that you need to pay off, is not really in a great position, but it's getting close. So that's not too bad. Your debt to assets ratio is still a little bit high. It needs to be below 40. And your debt to equity ratio is also a little bit high. It needs to be below 2. So the aim is to eventually get them down, but you can only do that with real estate and other investments because stocks are not going to affect them because you can see that the current and after purchase remain the same.
Okay, that's good to know. Definitely cash poor, but I'll still buy this.
Yes.
I'll stop sharing.
So if that makes sense, I'm going to buy some as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We are now share owners.
Transfer. I'm saving. To checking.
Okay, I am done when you are ready.
I'm done too.
Quickly check how much cash I have left. And I get a payday. I like payday, so that's okay. I'll wait for another opportunity after this.
Select card.
Also payday.
How much I had? Okay. Just 2,000. Okay.
That's more than me. I've only got 1,398 after paying my expenses. You're offered 65,000 for a 2-1 rental condo. Buyer has own financing. So before this, the one that you're looking at cost 60, so it would have made 5,000 on that one. It's not a very big deal, or not a very big profit, but could have made a profit. But it was also negative cash flow, so probably not. Probably.
Select card. Apartment house. Buyer.
I have one. I don't have any, so it doesn't affect me. Do you have any apartment houses?
Mm, I have house 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom. What's that?
So
Exactly.
that is just a house. Apartment house is slightly different. So if you hit the sell button, you'll be able
Yeah.
to see whether you actually own the correct one. If you do,
Yeah.
it will tell you that you have one and you can select it to sell it. And if you don't own anything, it will just say you don't have this asset.
Yeah, I don't. Done.
Okay. And I got another salary. Wow.
Nice.
Nice. But I would have really liked an opportunity to buy something.
Yeah.
That would have,
Limited partnership sold. Business has been sold. Received 3 times your original cost.
yes.
Agree to sell. What is so? I have income from that sale.
So I'm not sure if you had a limited partnership, but this one is automatic. So if you own a limited partner, it will automatically sell it for you. If you didn't
Yeah.
have one, then nothing changes. If you did, it would have already sold it and it would have given you cash. So a limited partnership is where,
Mhm.
for example, a small business owner has a fish and chip shop and they want to open a second one and they ask somebody to invest in it. So let's say that I give them 30,000, and then we agree that when they have the money to pay me back, they will, in the meantime, pay me a dividend. So they might pay me a percentage of the profit. So they might pay me $500 per week. And then when they have enough money to be able to buy me out, let's say that I paid them 30,000, and they decided they were going to pay me twice as much, they'd pay me 60,000, and then I'm out of the deal. But I've collected passive
Yeah.
income while my money was invested, and I received twice my return.
I see. Good investment. Given if the shop goes well.
If you have one, yes. Unfortunately, I don't
Yeah,
think
I don't.
had one.
Mhm.
But that one calculates automatically, so it does that one automatically. So nothing to do for that one. But I'm going to buy
8,000. No, goodbye.
Go that one. And actually, I can't buy it a second time. Well, I can, but I'm going to pretend to buy it one more time. So if you have a look at it this time, you'll notice that when I change the down payment, the numbers change slightly. So currently my current ratio is 280 and it needs to be greater than 1. And after purchase, it will go down slightly. My cash flow ratio will also will go up slightly, and it's still in the blue. My debt to assets ratio is almost not changing. It will go up slightly. It actually needs to be lower, so I'm not making my position much better. My debt to income ratio also almost doesn't change. It gets a little bit better, but not sufficient to be able to get me into the blue. And my debt to equity ratio goes up slightly. And that one also needs to be down a bit more to be able to get to 0 or to the blue. So I can see here whether my purchase is making my performance indicators better or worse.
Could it be just a temporary worse and then gets better when you sell it?
Yes. So it's just showing you what happens when you've purchased it, but over time, if you sell the asset, if you do different other things, your indicators will change over time.
Yeah. Select card.
Oh, congratulations.
3 kids? No, you got a baby. Where is the baby expense?
Are you financially okay to look after them?
Where can I see the expenses that's going out for?
So
Baby.
you have your children. Let me see if I share my screen. I'll be able to show you. Let me share screen and Cashflow Simulator. There we go. So you can see in the bottom section here, I have children expenses. So currently my children's expenses are 420. You'll be able to see what yours are down there in that section.
I don't have, yeah,
Or
I
you
don't
can
have
go
that. That's why.
payments, and then you can
Yeah.
also see how many children you have. Oh, mine is 420 because I also have 3 children, and I'm also sponsoring a child for $40.
Sponsor as in not your own.
Yes, correct. So
Okay.
this could be a child in Africa or a child in another developing country, and I'm sending money to an organization that that helps out that family.
Right. Done. B-Day.
Okay. Yes, there's not much else that you can do once you have a baby.
Nope.
Oh, third payday. Less opportunities, but lots of money coming. Money is good. I like money.
Cashflow. Yeah. Choose card.
So as we're playing, I'm very curious to know, Jay, what are some of the most important things financially that you're working on at the moment?
You mean within this game? Obviously, the cash
In the game, yes, but also in real life.
in real life. Building passive income.
Yes.
So I have my own business.
Yes.
It's not stable. So now I'm working part-time in a company, but doing the same thing. So I'm working as a career consulting, career coach. So I'm still working as a career transition specialist 4 days a week, but I also the other times have my own clients.
Oh, that's good. So you are working on being able to leave and have a stable business.
Yeah, I mean, I only had my business as sole income for 5 years.
Yes.
And COVID come and it's not stable. So I went back to having other income. I can definitely buy this one.
Yes. What's your website? I'd love to have a look into your business.
My website has been attacked by malware.
Ooh.
I've been talking to my hosting company for the past 3 weeks.
Sorted.
Update down payment. So the less down payment, the lesser the pay, the better. I will just play with
So it's going to depend. So obviously, if you put less money into the deal, you have money to put into other deals, and your return on investment is higher when you put less money into the deal. But obviously, the bank is going to be a little bit happier, and you'll probably in real life get a better loan if you put more money into the deal because you'll be less risky for the bank.
Does that mean I click on buy and then it went back to the same? So can I buy it again? What?
So you can because it does allow you to buy it a second time, but technically you're only allowed to buy it once.
Okay. So seems like the minimum down payment is 2,500.
Yes, if you type in 0, it will give you the minimum down payment. Yes.
That means
So Mladen and I are actually working on, and I'm very excited about this, a credit score kind of thing, so that depending on what you've done throughout the game, it will either allow you or not allow you to borrow. So the amount that you can borrow might go down, or it might go up depending on what you've done throughout the game, so that it's similar to real life. That's going to be really exciting because it'll allow you to figure out what you can and can't do in real life as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about doing some more research and putting that together. Okay,
nice.
I like this one, so I will say yes to that. And
See that one? If I got the card, I won't. I would have to borrow money.
so you don't have this.
I'm very cash poor in this game.
For the moment. You're working on it, right?
Yeah.
So I am not doing my debt to assets ratio or my debt to income ratio actually my debt to income is actually getting a little bit better, but my debt to assets and my debt to equity are getting a little bit worse, but I would rather have the opportunity to buy it. And I need to start working on my milestones because my passive income is still not greater than my expenses. I don't have 7 real estate properties yet, and I'm not investing in 4 or more asset classes yet. But first, I will pass on to you because there's not much I can do right now to make any changes. I'll have to look for more opportunities later.
I have 4 properties. So that card I tried to buy the second time, I think it let me buy the second time.
Yes, you can technically buy it a second time. You're not supposed to because in the game, obviously, you can only get one opportunity. But yes.
Payday plus shopping mall wanted.
Can't remember.
Major retailers moving to your town looking for small shopping mall. Ready to pay, but I don't own. Do you own shopping mall?
It came up, but I didn't end up buying it, so I do not.
Okay, done.
Okay, let's see what I can come up with. See if I can come up with a good deal. Still have some cash, so that's good. Ooh, another one. I will get that one too.
You must have a lot of property already.
I have a lot of property. I can't remember my last game that well, but I obviously did some good things in that last game. Look at that. I've got 3 businesses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 properties.
Wow. What's 8 flags? Is it like an 8 complex?
So in America, they call them 4plexes and 8plexes. So we have duplexes in Australia, 2 properties on 1 piece of land. In America, they also have 4 properties on 1 piece of land and 8 properties on 1 piece of land. We would probably call them 8plex townhouses.
Okay.
You know those ones that you find in the suburbs sometimes where you have like 8 tiny little houses on maybe 2 or 3 blocks of land that people have combined and turned into townhouses. That's probably what Americans call 8plexes.
I see. Really need a lot of property to build up a cash flow, a passive cash flow.
Yes.
Passive.
Correct.
But looks like your businesses are generating good.
Yes, my businesses are very good, especially my laundromat business because it has an return on investment infinity.
Wow.
And so have some of my other properties as well. My 4plex and 2 of my 8plexes are also at infinity. And I own some of them for 15, 19, 22 months now, 30 months, 25 months. So I can sell them without having as much capital gains tax, which is really good. So let's see if there are some opportunities to sell some things so I make some more cash because I'm starting to run out of cash a little bit.
MIT for you, electronics, $5.
Sure.
Okay. $5.
Yes. So for those, there we go.
How much I buy would depend on how much I want to build my own portfolio, right?
Correct. So if you feel that it's a really good deal and you want to put more money in it, that's fine. If you feel that it's a bit risky to put too much money into it, then you can put a little bit less. Completely.
And I would have to think about the next round cash flow. If I squeeze all my cash out on this, then next month I would have no cash.
And you might not have cash for something else. So it's always that balancing act of where do I want to put my money? But again, in real life also, you don't know what is around the corner. So there might be a good deal, there might not be a good deal coming around the corner.
Yeah.
So you might buy something and then you don't have the money when a really, really good deal comes past and you spent your money on a good deal, but not a great deal.
Okay. Mladen came back.
Over to you, Mladen. Ooh, too big power. Were you able to find what you needed in the back end, Mladen? I got a salary increase, $200 more. Very nice. I am happy with that. And now I'm out of the rat race. My salary increase did it.
Oh, really? Wow. Nice. Payday and demand for bed and breakfast. I don't have bed and breakfast.
I don't either, no.
Done.
So how would I find out more about your business, Jade?
I have
I'm a business
my
nerd.
LinkedIn,
I
I
always
guess.
love knowing about everybody's business.
LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel.
Well, what's your YouTube channel?
Career Journey Pro.
I will
I can
make
send
sure
the
I
link.
check it out. Yes, send me the link to your LinkedIn and to your YouTube. I would love to have a look.
And for my business, I'm at the stage that I've created my own course. So I want to hold one-to-many,
Yes.
not one-on-one anymore. So I'm not that, I feel like I've had enough one-on-one. It's my LinkedIn.
I know that feeling. Yes.
Yeah. So even if now on LinkedIn, there's so many people just promoting, oh, I can get you quality clients. And I'm not that excited for that anymore.
No,
I've had close to
figure out what stage you're at and what is important for you during that stage, and not just jumping at everything, but having a look at what is going to bring me quality, what is going to bring me peace of mind, so that you're not spending time wasting it on something that doesn't bring you joy and happiness, or doesn't bring you the result that you want. Because if you have lots and lots of one-on-one clients and then you have no time to grow the business, then that's not
that's why I love I've had close to probably 500 one-on-one, including some of the online group classes I've run. So I had experience. I mean, I'm at the stage that I'm ready to scale, but it's the marketing, the game of marketing. If possible, I would like to passive sell, use video to passive sell for my courses.
Yes.
But I haven't figured it out.
That makes sense. That happens.
So I have two YouTube channels. This is the English one, and it's the smaller one. I have a Chinese one. That one is about 4 times subscribers of this one.
Yes. Yes, most Chinese people I know have 2 channels, and then the Chinese one always has more, which, given the population of China versus the population of Australia, that makes a lot of sense.
But people in China cannot see YouTube, so it's Chinese-speaking people outside of China who can see this.
Correct. Yes.
I've have over 120 videos on the Chinese channel, and I know that I can move that to a Chinese video platform similar to YouTube.
Yes.
But again, that's a lot of work. I can ask my VA to do it, but now because I want to change the business model to sell courses, and I just don't have enough resource, time, and passion to do it now. It sounds like a really big project.
So where is your VA from?
My VA in Philippines.
From the Philippines. Ah.
Yeah. I tried one from Malaysia. I had Singaporean ones, but so far, because I reduced the volume of my work as well, so my own business, so it's just one person now.
Yes, I'm also very happy with Ethel. She is doing a wonderful job.
Is it my turn? Yeah, my turn.
I think so, yes.
Payday, you have a great deal. Yes. A similar kind of property. I have 4 of this already. I'm going to buy another one. 5.
If they're good, why not get another one?
Nice. Yeah. Done.
Okay, over to you, Mladen.
Aladdin is so quick.
Oh, house buyer.
Oh, I can sell finally.
65.
So
That's
hang on,
the
you're
price-
offered
the price that you
for
paid for it.
65,000. Okay, I'll sell. Wait, hang on. If I want the monthly cash flow, this will only give me a lump sum, but it boosts my cash.
Yes, you might be able to sell it for more though. I'm not sure if you had a look at potential sales price.
That's where is that? The value?
That would have been on the card when you picked the card.
Okay. So do I want extra
Something worth
cash?
having a look
Or
at
do
next
I
time
want
you have a look at
opening?
the card.
Hmm. So for me to be able to sell it, I have to wait until this sell card shows up, or
Correct. Yes.
okay, okay, okay. I'll try that just for the
Okay.
sake of the experience. Okay, so
And just
okay.
remember that if you sell before 12 months, if you haven't owned it for more than 12 months, it will charge you more in capital gains tax.
Yeah, I have one that's more than 12 months. Okay, months in possession 17. Capital gain
That's
cash
more than 12.
flow. Oh, that's my best performing cash flow. I'm not gonna.
Then maybe not, yes.
How do I cancel then? Just go back to playboard? I'll just do that. No, I cannot. Can I cancel?
You should be able to cancel if you just say done.
But it's now already, I mean, it's selecting that property.
If you don't hit sell and you just hit done, then it will
Okay.
switch back out.
All right, cool.
And I will hit done. I'm still downsized, so I have no income, but I'm out of the rat race, so I still earn more than I was.
How many property do you? What made you are able to do that? The 3 businesses and what 5 property to be
Sorry,
able to do.
what enabled me to get to the position that I'm in?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I
3.
need to go through my reports and have a look at. I need to have a look at what I did. I need to go through my general journal to be able to see that. So I don't remember what I did last time we played. Let's see, that's 22, that's 23. So where did all my money come from? That is a good question. Let me know when it's my turn, because I'm just going through and having a look.
Yeah.
My turn? I'll have to check later.
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
I'm done.
Okay, I'm not in the mood for a certificate of deposit, but thank you for the offer. Mutual funds. Oh, it's already gone. It was there for a few seconds. See what I can find. 30,000 for all plexes. So I'm going to sell just to see what I have, how long I've had them, and how much cash flow they make. So I've got one duplex that I haven't had that long. It's not making that much cash flow. The capital gain would be 35,000, but I'd be taxed 35,000. I've got one with the second lowest cash flow. I'd make 60,000 on that, but I'd be charged for it. But I could potentially make a bit of cash and sell this 8plex, and I would make 80,000 on it, and I'd only pay tax over 40,000. So let's do that and keep the rest. Oh, hang on a minute. This one has low cash flow and it makes 60,000. Taxable amount 30. Let's sell that one instead. Let's sell that one. There we go. Okay, keep the rest. Now I've got some more cash to start spending again.
Nice.
Okay, done.
Okay. Stock MIT for you. Again, today's price 30.
Ooh, we have some of those.
So I can, or we can sell MIT
We
for
can, but we
you.
only just bought it, so I am probably going to wait because I just sold the property, so I've got cash. So I might wait till it's a bit higher.
But trading range maximum is 30. Would it go above
Not till
that?
it's higher, but till I've owned it for longer. So I have cash.
Okay.
I'm not desperate to sell.
Oh, sell it for fun. So done. Was it sold? Yeah, it's sold. Ooh, a lot of cash.
A lot of
Nice.
cash. Yay. Cash is good.
Monthly expense. Gold. No gold.
That's one of Maladen's favorite things, gold. Payday. I hit done, but it didn't accept it.
Retail debt. What is that? How come I have retail debt?
So retail debt is when you have, for example, a Maya store card, or you have a credit card that belongs to a shopping center or a shop. And so instead of a credit card, you're borrowing money from the shop that you're actually buying the things from. They used to be more popular in the 80s. People don't use them as much anymore. They might still use them in America, I'm not sure. Ooh, 45,000 for a condo. Anybody want to sell one of those?
2/1. I don't have 2/1.
Nope.
I have
Then I will hit done.
3/2. So done.
Oh, I hit done. It didn't accept it.
2-bedroom condo again. Or I can
This
buy
time you can buy it.
$5,000. Yeah. Monthly income. Cash flow $96. Done. Monthly expenses.
Loud and quick as always. Let's see what I can find. Payday and software company buyer. Don't think I have a software company. Nope, no assets found.
No.
But I'll take my payday. Happy to receive that.
I have very high other expenses. What is other expenses?
So other expenses is food and entertainment and everything else that's not listed in the rest of your list.
Mhm.
So
Like personal
in real life, you also
expenses,
have relatively high other expenses.
yeah. Payday plus stock MIT
Ooh, more stock.
for you. Today's price $5. I just sold them. They come back. I'm gonna buy again.
Sounds like a good idea. Okay, I have mine. Thank you very much.
Done. My internet is not stable, so sometimes it lags. Done. Okay.
Still sound very clear. Nothing.
I mean, yeah, the web page, it's loading, taking a while to load. Salary.
Mine does that all the time.
Mano, in real life, do you have businesses that generate cash for you like that?
I do, and I am looking at consolidating and improving everything that I'm doing. So there's been a lot happening in my businesses over the last probably 6 months. I have very clearly set out what my goals are, what I want to achieve, how I want to achieve them, what kind of quality of life I want to have. So that has been a big focus for me. So everything I am doing is set up to have the time commitment that I want it to have the income coming from it that I want it to have, rather than just having everything the way that I used to. I've evaluated everything to make some improvements on it. It's been really good.
Sounds nice. Upgrade.
Yes. It's really important as a business owner to take a step back and really have a look at, for example, I started outsourcing. So Ethel joined the team, and she has been wonderful for getting a lot of the things done that I really don't have the time for, so that I can focus on the consolidation and everything else. So that has been where it's all at this year. I've also been consolidating my investments as well. So got into property last year and have been doing a lot more with my stock and options. And I've also started looking at some other alternative investments as well now. And I'm potentially looking to...
Your options, are you trading Australian options?
So I'm trading American options. Because American options, there are more of them, and they are more likely to be executed as opposed to Australian options where there might not be somebody on the other end. So it might not be fulfilled. So yes, that's something that I've been playing around.
That's what I realized.
So
what platform do you use to trade American options?
Yes. What kind of strategies?
Can you hear me? So I bought an option trading course. Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
And I jump online and realized Australian options, like you said, it's not enough there. Stock, okay for you, drug. Okay for you, drug. $10, no. Maybe.
Okay, I already got the ones that I want, so feel free.
But what platform?
Sorry?
What's the platform that you use to trade American stocks? Which broker?
So I use interactive brokers. I was using something called Planner, which used to be called Alpha something, and then they changed the name. I think they merged with somebody else, and I haven't used them for a while because I had to send the money to America, and there was lots and lots of different extra needed to be done. So I decided to send it to Australia, but it was annoying because it used to be a company that was international, so you could do international things very easily, and you could also like consolidate things between different countries. But now each country has separate entities, and you can't link them. And that's because the Australian government doesn't really want,
Mm.
they want control over the whole thing. So everything from outside Australia is outside, and that company is not allowed to work together with or do things together with the Australian companies. And again, it's this decentralization. And you'll notice that, for example, in Russia, they were very anti-Google and anti-different other companies, and they have their own version. So in Russia, you have Yandex and different other companies that do the same as Google. In China, you have your own companies that do the same thing, and they're not very open to Western ideas. America decided to stop TikTok, and it had to be bought by Bill Gates in order to be able to keep trading in America. So you see decentralization everywhere. Interesting. I just thought of that.
Yeah.
But yes, the more you look around, the more you see decentralization all around.
Is it my turn?
I think it is, yes.
Select card. Salary, yes. And pay expense. What? Raise another income and pay
So you
expense.
receive your payday, you receive your income, but you also have to pay your expenses at the same time.
I thought so. This avatar I'm playing is an airline pilot. It looks like it's already good pay, but taking such a long time to build income because other expenses are high
because when
too.
you have a high income, you usually have high expenses as well. So the airline pilot has high expenses, so it takes you longer to be able to get out of the rat race for that reason. Let's see what I can.
So if you have high income but low expenses, which is counterintuitive for a lot of people, I guess.
Yes. So most people
12
follow the same kind of pattern. So when you have a high income, they have high expenses. When you have a low income, you have low expenses. That's automatic because you have to. But obviously, what you want to be able to have is have a high income with low expenses. And then you use that to create passive income. Your income goes up higher, and then you can start to expand your standard of living.
Yeah.
That would be what you ideally want to be doing.
It's my turn.
Okay, your turn. Yes.
Yes. Charity. Okay. Pay 10% of total income to pay charity. Okay.
Ooh, 45. Oh, I don't think I have an apartment house. That's a shame. I do not. Do not. See if I can find an apartment house this time. Actually, I haven't had any apartment houses come past. Ooh, I am downsized, but
My turn.
my passive income is higher than my expenses, so it doesn't really bother me.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay for you, drug company, is nice and high, and I need some cash. What have I had for more than 12 months? Had these for more than 12 months? Sell those. And I've had these for more than 12 months. Sell those. Then I should have some cash again.
When they say taxable amount, that means that that's the tax going to be taken out, right?
So in Australia, if you own something for more than 12 months, then they only tax you on half of your capital gain. So if I make 80,000, then they will calculate half of that, 40,000, and tax me on that. So they will add that 40,000 to my taxable income and then calculate how much tax I need to pay. So 40,000 is tax-free. If I own it for less than 12 months, they're going to charge me tax over the full amount. So if I make 80,000, they will add the 80,000 to my tax in order to be able to calculate how much tax I need to pay. So they're doing it to incentivize people to keep things for longer.
So, I mean, the taxable amount is just showing the amount that's taxable, but not the actual tax.
No. So for example, by this stage, we've played for more than 30 months, I think. So I can actually show you. I think you can still see my screen, yes?
Yes.
So if I go to reports and I go to my tax statement,
Yeah.
this is this year's tax. But if I go back to 2022, there probably isn't that much in there, but you can see how much my salary and wages are. Then you can see my total taxable capital gain. I didn't actually have anything that I sold in that first year. I have no deductions. So my taxable income is my salary. And then they calculate how much my tax is and then how much tax I actually paid. And then I get a refund because the tax I paid was higher than the amount of tax that I actually owed. But now if we go to 2023, let's have a look at that one. Oh, a lot more there. So my income, salary and wages, but also I have real estate revenue. I also have business revenue. That becomes my new total income. And then I have taxable capital gain. So 198,900, almost 200,000 I earned in capital gains. And then from that amount, the child sponsorship expense, the bank interest on my loan for the 4-plex, the 8-plex for the apartment complex, and my laundromat are all taken
So those
off.
are the property tax. Was that a depreciation or
So this is bank interest.
deductible?
So that bank interest is actually a deduction. So interest that I pay on my loans.
Right.
And then that gives me my new taxable income after all of the deductions have been taken off. And then the amount of tax, the tax I paid, I can see that it's 25.88% that I'm paying on that because I'm in a higher tax bracket, but I still got my refund of 21,287. So every year you can start to see what it is that's been happening. And we're working on putting more deductions in because one of the things that's holding you back from being able to get 3 times your passive income is because of this amount of tax that you are paying. The tax is realistic. So this is the actual Australian taxable amounts.
Yeah.
So we're going to start putting in more deductions so that you can actually deduct on things that you would otherwise be able to do in real life. So I actually paid less tax this year, but my taxable income was quite a bit lower. And I made no capital gains in 2024. There we go.
You haven't sold anything.
There we go. So that gives you a bit of an idea of what is going on behind the scenes with the capital gains.
Yeah.
And I think we all sold those stocks. Okay.
Lunch with
Lunch with friends from London.
That's a very cheap lunch with friends.
Yes, the game is getting a little bit older, so the prices are a little bit less realistic now. And then we are back to me. Okay, let's see what I can find. Widgets company buyer, I don't think I have one of those, but I do have payday. I'll take my payday.
I need to head off in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Later now. Shopping mall, no shopping mall, done. Are you planning to do this in offline or probably just will be online ongoing?
So I am looking at restarting in person again.
Yeah.
So we used to do them in Balmain. We used to do them in the city. I used to do them in Burwood and in Liverpool as well, actually. So
wow.
I will look into getting those started again.
I'll be keen to. It's different.
Where are you
but are we gonna still gonna bring our laptop to do this or?
So I also have board games. So we have the actual board game version and we have the online version. So in person, we might go back to the board game, but it could also be interesting to do a little bit of combination so that we can play the board game a little bit and then also show what the online version is, because I'm very excited to do more of the online version, because it just has so much more available inside of it and it's so much more realistic than the other one.
And up to date. Yeah.
And it's so much more up to date, yes.
Yes. Yes. I mean, one of the learning today is what you said, the more income you have, to be able to get out of race quicker, you need to suppress your, not suppress, but reduce your expenses.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What has Mladen got? Ooh, I might buy some of those.
$5. Yep. I've got a lot of cash now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I built it up. Quantity to buy. And I realized that stocks doesn't generate. I mean, unless it has dividend, there's no passive income from it.
Correct. Yes. So in real life, you can find companies with dividends, but in the game, they don't have any dividends. So that's actually Mladen. We'll need to make a note of that.
But not all stocks
I'm
has
making new
good dividend.
cards. So I am thinking of creating some stocks. We're also working on a more realistic version of stocks. And then one of them, what we will do is we'll have a couple with dividends as well, so that you can also make a passive income from those.
Yeah. I was doing my research and on YouTube, there are people saying to be able to live off dividend, how much you need to invest. I did a calculation. It's like 700,000 something to be able to have enough 700,000 invested in stocks to be able to live off passive dividend monthly.
Yes. So it depends on obviously how much
I need
dividend you're getting, what the yield is on that dividend, and obviously some are going to be better than others. But yes, you would need quite a substantial amount to be able to live off dividends. So that's why it's really important to have a very balanced portfolio and to keep your eyes open for what is around you and what are other opportunities. Because there are definitely higher risk, higher opportunity investments, and there are lower risk ones. So a high dividend portfolio, usually less risky, but it's not going to have as high of a return as something a little bit more risky. And I was not paying attention. I was answering questions and did not buy my shares, but there we go. And then almost missed the fact that it was my turn, but I thought it was good to answer the question. So hopefully that does not bother anybody. Ooh, apartment complex. I say yes, I am buying it. 67%, 2,700 in cash flow. Let's have a look. Okay, I will say yes to buying that. It will not be good for my performance indicators, but it will give me lots of cash flow. And now I have my minimum 7 real estate properties. I've got 2 milestones that I've reached.
Nice. It's my turn. Select card. Payday. Price of gold source.
Oh, I don't know if Lana bought the gold from before, but you might want to check with him whether this is something that he needs.
Do you need Mladen to sell? I can sell you the card.
No, you cannot sell this card.
No, you can't sell the card, but Mladen would be able to sell his gold if he had any, but it seems like he doesn't have any, or he's already sold it.
Okay.
Okay, and then it's your turn, Marlon, when you're ready. Ooh, that one is
And
slightly-
then damage your property. Not good.
Okay, see if I can find something good then. Payday. Good, but not what I was hoping to get. But still good. Not going to.
Charity.
Condo at 55. Ooh. I think
Wow.
that-
150%. It's good. $400 per
Passive
month.
income is now quite a lot higher than my expenses. This is good news.
Oh, I'm so far away from my passive income is only a third of my income. My income is too high. Select card. Probably will be my last card for tonight. Apartment house buyer. Buyer offers per unit for all units in apartment house of any size.
So I have one of those, but 25,000 is a little bit low. But I am getting very good returns from this, 130.23% return on investment, and only just bought it. So
So I don't have any. I'll click down.
no, and I'm sure Mladen, if he had one, would have sold it by now. But first,
He's getting all the bad cards. He's getting.
he has to deal with
he
these
got like.
downsides first. He's going to have to do that first. Okay, oops, I hit the select card button, but it didn't do anything.
Your
Oh,
passive income.
approved again. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I'll take
Stock. Okay for you. Drug. Cool. What? $30.
$30. Let's see what I have.
It could go up to 40. I'll wait.
It could, yes. I have one that I've owned for a while. I think I still have enough cash for now, so I'm okay, but thank you.
Cool. I can't. I'll have to go, but it was nice. I like the little presentation you did. Very good reminder. The decentralization. Yes.
Yes, so maybe have a think about where that might apply in everything that you do, because yes, you notice decentralization in just about everything on every level. So maybe see if there's something business-wise, and I would love to have more of a chat about your business. So I'm going to have a look at your YouTube channel. I'm going to have a look at your LinkedIn. I think I've already copied everything so that I can go and have a look at that.
Thank you.
And I would love to, because this year, really, I want to see what I can do to support people more and what the club can do to support people more in order to be able to help them reach their goals. So I will reach out throughout the week and see if we can have a chat, and would love to know more. Yes.
Sounds nice. Yes, I'm interested in scaling the business. Like you said, there's a cap of doing one-on-one, and I enjoyed it, being able to help people, but to a stage that now I'm ready for something different.
Yes.
But also financially makes sense.
Would love to have a chat and maybe even create something around that. So I am in the process of putting together masterminds. And if that is something that you're interested in, that's something that we can have a chat about as well. So that we can have people that are interested in business and stocks and options and different other things in groups together so that we
Yeah.
can support
Yeah.
each other and do different things.
Yeah.
So I will definitely.
Last year, I even built a course helping people if they want to become a coach, like, career life coach, what I did. That kind of thing. I'm happy to help people in those ways as well. But I guess for me, it's the marketing, figuring out the marketing with the current resources that I have.
Then let's have a chat throughout the week. I really appreciate you joining. You were the one shining light this week. If you know anybody that might be interested, and we'll see if we can get some more people to come next week. A couple of other people had signed up, but not sure where they went to. And we'll see if we can entice them with a little bit of the presentation to get them curious. And then we'll get them across for the presentation and the cash flow next week. Okay. Was there anything else that you'd like to quickly share, or anything that you learned, or anything else that you'd like to share about the game? Otherwise, we'll let you go because I know that you do have to go.
That's all. I think the biggest learning is that really I guess it's simple. You just really need to minimize your expenses to be able to get out of it as quick as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
perfect.
applicable for my real life as well. Yeah.
Yes. You'll notice that the game is very much a reflection of real life. So it's always good to play and use that to see what's happening in your real life as well. And I'm glad that you enjoyed the presentation. Thanks for joining, and then look forward to seeing you next time. And I'll be in touch throughout the week.
Likewise.